So before going to my hometown for vacation, I thought I would buy some more books, and so I decided to go to the Sunday book market in Delhi. It was a very hot day, almost 44 degree, and once I reached there, it was too windy. You can see that from this video. What surprised me was on my early visits, the self help books were selling more from Ikigai to Psychology of Money and everything. But this time it was manga. Like manga comics were everywhere. Like you can see this and you can see how much they were selling. Like even though the quality of the copies were very bad, but people were happy with it. And compared to the prices of the original copy, this was very cheap. There were stores catering to every kind of reader. There were stores specifically for YA fantasy, and there were a lot of readers there, as you would expect. And then there were stores for just for like Penguin and Wordsworth classics, and which had its own readers, so specifically middle-aged guys. One good thing about such markets are that you can get classics at a very cheap price. Now check this copy of Animal Farm. You can tell by the copy that it's a very cheap copy, and this is the way such classics can reach people. I was glad that I found a copy of Lavanya Lakshminarayan's Unlocked Virtual, and the reason that I picked it up was that I recently read an article that this novel from India was nominated for the Arthur Clarke Science Fiction Award. I also found a very old copy of Charles Dickens' The Pickwick Papers. I didn't buy it because it is very easily available in libraries around me. And right when it was getting very hot and too windy, I found Robert Bolano's 2666. This has been in my reading list for a very long time, and I got it just for 100 rupees. And I didn't even think of bargaining. It was a very fair price. It was not even fair. I just got very lucky. I also found a cool copy of Guy Maupassant's collection of short stories. I thought about buying it, but I had bought a much bigger copy of all of his short stories just 2 weeks back. I also found something very cool. Apparently, there's a Hindi publisher producing condensed translations of world classics. Like I found a translation of The Pearl by John Steinbeck. Then there was a Hindi translation of Merchant of Venice, and then there was a much shorter translation of Tolstoy's War and Peace. Cool stuff. And the most surprising was the condensed translation of And Quiet Flows the Dawn by Mikhail Shalakov. I didn't expect to find this. Then I found a lot of Urdu books, very cheap Urdu books, of which the covers were amazing. Covers were very colorful, and I really loved it. So I contacted my girlfriend, and I sent her pictures, and she picked up 3 books. I don't have any idea what these books are, but she reads it, and I bought it for her. Right when I thought that I was not getting any book of my taste this time, I found a small store which kept some books aside and said that these books are for 100 rupees. Like I could pick 4 books for 100 rupees. And I was glad that there were some good books in that. I found John Irving's book, then there were books by Mario Puzo. I found a good short story collection also. I had to complete the set of 4. That's when I found Gavin Maxwell's Ring of Bright Water, which I googled and found out that it is a pretty good book, and I hope it's true. I went around looking for a similar store, and I actually found one, and apparently this store had books from a particular high school, Hatefield High School, and this copy of Pride and Prejudice was very good. It was covered, and I took 3 copies, 4 books from here, and 3 of them were from this same high school. Probably they would have sold it off for a new stock of books. Anyway, good for me. So my complete haul for today were these 13 books, and the first three are like Urdu books from my girlfriend. I don't know what the cover says, but they are like so cool. Like check this out, the bright colors. 1, 2, and 3. And then there is this probably a South Asian diasporic novel by Monica Lee called Brick Lane. And I have heard a lot of good things about it, and it is covered, and I love it. So I bought it, and this was just for like 25 rupees. Then my favorite by Roberto Bolano's 2666. So I will read this first. Then I found this small book The Little World of Don Camilo, and I heard that it is also good. So, and this was just for 25 rupees. Then this was also for 25 rupees. Joseph Conrad, the Secret Agent. Okay, okay. The cover is it's pretty old, but I would read it. Then I told you about the sci-fi book from India. I will read it while going on the train this time. Then this one, Maria Puzo's The Fortunate Dream. This was also for 25 rupees. Let's see how this goes. I have read his Godfather and I loved it. And then this one, the cover is so 80s, Heinlein Star Beast. I have read his Stranger in a Strange Land. So this would be my second Robert Heinlein book. Let's see how this goes. And this looks very cheesy. Let's see. Then this one, let's see, this one also looks good. There are images also in between, and I have heard that this is one of the best man animal book out there. And Somerset Maugham's collected short stories, volume 3. I have been reading a lot of short stories recently. I have at least 5 to 6 short stories right now, from which I am short story collections, from which I am reading uh, one story every day randomly from any random book. So let's see how his short stories are. So these are my books for the day.